welcome to Carpool with Ben, folks. It's like he never got out of the car the last time I had him in. Actually, it is his first time, technically his second, because I had a glitch. But first time on Carpool with Ben. Singer, songwriter, all-around good guy, educator, the grandson of a radio broadcaster who is no longer with us, but, you know, we got good memories of, of your grandfather. Yeah. Mr. Tim Buono, sir.
How are you?
Thanks for hopping in the car as we avoid. We're playing like, Dodge can here. That's all right. I can do it all. But great to have you in the car. You're relatively new to the music scene here in southern New England, in the New England area.
Yeah.
But you've got some really good success happening. You got a lot of talent. So for the basic information, you know, who are you? What do you like to do as far as music? And how did you get into it?
Well, I love, I'm a big fan of 90s country, early 2000s country. So
okay.
We do a lot of that in my shows, and we pepper in some originals too. But yeah, I got into country when I was about 9-10 years old. My dad and I were watching TV, and we were flipping through the stations, and then we stopped, and there was a music video on of some guy in a white cowboy hat playing guitar, and I was just like, dang, that's so cool. I want to do that someday. And so we did some research, figured out who the guy was. The song was Little Moments, and the guy was Brad Paisley.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, well, so we went out and bought the album. It was Mud on the Tires, and, you know, my dad and I listened to it in his truck over and over and over and over for months. And then my parents surprised me, my brother, and my sister with tickets to go see Brad at Indian Ranch.
Oh, awesome. That's a great venue.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. That was back in 2004.
Okay.
And there's a picture of my sister she was 4 at the time, and I was 9, 10. And there's a picture of the two of us like by one of Brad's big 18-wheeler trucks.
Nice.
And it's awesome. And I got to meet Brad about probably 6 years ago now. And I showed him that picture, and he's just like, we talked about it for a while. It was really cool to get to meet him, and he's the whole reason I got into music, started playing guitar, started singing. And then, full circle moment was back in September of 2019, I got to play that same Indian Ranch stage that got it all started for me.
Wow.
So that was awesome, and I sang Little Moments, and the coolest part was the whole crowd was singing along with me, so that was just, unreal. So.
Well, that's one of those venues where it's big enough to attract the big names, but it's still sort of intimate enough you can have those special interactions with the crowd, which is a big part of the performance. Yeah, you got to have the music ability, and you got to be able to, to sing and have a tune and organize a band to play with you.
Yeah.
But you've got to have that charisma. You've got to have those special moments with the audience to make a connection and to bond with them. So,
absolutely, yeah.
So that's really cool that you have that element to the whole story there. So what was the step you took to kind of get into the music side of things? I think, if I remember correctly, in just talking, your brother does music or theater and performing.
Yeah. So I used to go see him in his plays in high school and stuff like that, and he was in like Grease and Beauty and the Beast and stuff like that. So I used to go see him perform, and that was always awesome to me. And none of us were really, my brother, my sister, or I, were not very athletic. We're all more on the music side. So like I said, my brother did theater.
Same here.
So, and I just always pushed the guitar, and I just loved country music from the second I got into it. And so I started doing that, and my parents really exposed us to a lot of different kinds of music when we were little. Like I listened to a lot of Billy Joel, Elton John, John Fogerty, before country music, and then obviously Brad Paisley came around, Keith Urban, Dirk Bentley, Eric Church,
Sure. Well, there's a lot of similarities between the Elton Johns and the Billy Joels with Brad Paisley. I mean, if you really drill down deep, Brad is very musically driven, more of a technique. His solos are very heavy, very melodic, I guess is the word.
It's a good word for it.
And Billy Joel, Elton John being piano players as a principal, they're also very melodic.
Yeah, right.
So that's pretty cool how that whole tied in together. And then
absolutely.
Now you have, you were getting into it just as this whole, brand and this whole breed of rock was starting to really infuse into the country. So that was that's pretty cool to have that. I mean, do you listen to other styles of music? Is there other, if it wasn't a country station or country music, what would be the next? I mean, we talking Meatloaf? I mean, you know.
If you ask my wife, she says that I only listen to country.
Okay.
All
right. That's all right.
A little bit I'll throw some classic rock in there, like
Okay.
the Eagles, obviously. Don't go back to Billy Joel, Elton John.
Sure.
I mean, I like other styles. I just always gravitate towards country.
Sure.
And I really, my sister and I kind of have a knack for, like, finding those newer artists. Like, we were listening to Luke Combs when he was just putting out cover videos on YouTube.
Okay.
You know, so, like, we're like, oh, we love this guy, and now he's huge.
Yeah.
Same with, like, Florida Georgia Line. Like, remember listening to Cruise, but way before it was on the radio. So, like,
Sure.
her and I, like, we always bond over that. Like, oh, check out this guy. You know, maybe he'll be big someday. And sure enough, you know, it's happened a few times.
Sure.
You know.
And that's what people are saying right now as they're watching this episode. They're like, "Hey, check out this guy,
We hope.
because he's going to be big one day." He really is. No, you're on the right path and trajectory.
Thanks,
Personal life, recently married.
Yes.
And as I understand it, this summer is going to be interesting. We got a bit of a honeymoon road trip planned.
We do, yes. We're gonna rent an RV, us and our dog, and we're gonna do a little national parks road trip around the country. So
Your wife's name is
Michaela.
Michaela,
Yes.
the lovely Michaela.
The lovely Michaela.
Hello, Michaela. How are you? Thanks for watching. So that's awesome. So you're gonna that's such a cool thing because you're both educators.
Yep.
You're a school teacher during the day because right now you still have to pay bills.
Correct.
Where do you teach and what do you teach?
So I teach at Blackstone Valley Tech, which is the high school I graduated from.
Okay.
And I teach in the painting and design department. So I teach a lot of CAD and house design. And,
Oh wow.
it's super fun. I mean, it doesn't feel like going to work every day. You know, I'm hanging out with high school kids, getting them show them stuff that I know and I'm passionate about. And, you know, they're my biggest fans with music too.
So it's cool because you have the creativity from music. You have the creativity kind of with what you're doing there.
Yep.
My question is, how awkward was it your first day working at the school you went to, and all of a sudden Mrs. Smith or Mr. Jones became Dave or Sue or something?
It took a minute. And like I said, I remember the first day they do like a whole teacher thing in the cafeteria, and they introduce the new teachers each
Sure.
year. And so like they brought me up and called me up, and I could just see the look on some of my old teachers' faces, like, oh my God, what? So, you know.
Walk by handing them like papers for a retirement community.
Yeah, right.
Lovely gated community. You're gonna if you're looking to downsize.
Yeah, right. One of them told me in the hallway a couple weeks ago. He's like, hey, I found your old English paper, from senior year. I'm like, oh, great.
Wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't. No.
That's great. Did you go to college?
I did. I went to Fitchburg State.
Okay.
And I went for construction management, and I got a few jobs in construction management and realized I just didn't like it.
Okay.
So that's actually how I got into teaching. Was I always loved my job. I went through all through college and a little bit of high school. I worked at a paint store.
Okay.
And absolutely loved it. Loved working with the team there, and I loved training the new kids. And that's how I kind of realized, I'm like, hey, I think I might like teaching, and obviously I have experience with paint and house design and all that, so it kind of led to I stayed close with the teacher that was of the painting and design department, and he told me he'd be retiring soon, and I'm like, oh, well, good
Nice.
timing, because
Well, that's great.
So that's how I got into there, and then it took about, I think it was 20 minutes on my first day, where some kids come and say, like, hey, we Googled you. Are you a musician? 20 minutes. That's all it took.
Yeah. Well,
So.
it's that was a couple years ago. So now it's getting even faster. So
Yeah,
it's,
right.
Talk about, not to get off on a tangent about the technical schools and the
No, not at all.
vocational schools, but I think those are just so important. And
Yeah.
the problem, I mean, not to get on a political base, I think the biggest problem is we don't have enough of these schools,
Right.
and we don't fund them enough, because that is literal life skills being taught. And I'm not just saying this to blow smoke at you, because
No.
I think it's important. I was not a kid who went to college. I didn't even graduate high school. But beside the point, if the technical school would have been offered to me, I possibly could have stuck it out.
Right.
But it's such a those trade skills are huge. So
Yeah.
that's awesome over there at the Blackstone Valley
Blackstone Valley Tech, yeah.
Tech. Blackstone
The full name is
Valley
Blackstone Valley Regional Vocational Technical High School. but we just call it Black Light Tech for short.
Yeah, BVT.
BVT.
BVT on the back of every metal chair, everything that's
right.
owned, it's BVT.
It's just BVT, that's
exactly.
it. But I know some of my best friends are from that school, and obviously my wife, she graduated from there, so that was cool.
Nice.
And
high school sweetheart.
we were not actually high school sweethearts.
All right.
We met after the fact, or re-met after the fact.
Okay.
But you know, so many friends of mine, they're in like the HVAC trade or the plumbing trade, or you know, and just because of the experience I got there, and it's awesome. And now it used to be that, you know, the bad kids all went to the Voc Tech schools. Totally different now.
Yeah.
It's super competitive to get in. I think the superintendent told me a few years ago there were 1,200 applicants for 300 spots.
Wow.
So it's
Time to do more. Time to do more and
Yeah.
keep those opportunities out there. So
Yeah.
let's get back to the music.
Yes.
You're playing around areas here in southern New England or in the New England area. Six String Bar and Grill is a good place. The former
Yeah.
Toby Keith's.
Correct.
Over
yeah.
there at the home of the champions,
Home of the
Patriot Place.
champions.
Where else do you like to play?
We're playing at Loretta's Last Call, Central Tavern in Milford, Uxlocal in Uxbridge.
And those are all great places, but it's my understanding that you recently made a huge announcement,
Yes.
sir. And for those of you who missed it, shame on you. What are you thinking? Tell those losers what they missed.
So, acoustic, we are going to be on the VIP side stage at the Xfinity Center for Brooks and Dunn.
Wow,
So we are super
Huge.
excited to do that.
that's great.
Yeah, we got asked to do that probably about a month ago, and obviously I didn't
Congratulations.
care what I was doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yes.
Yes.
I will be there.
Brooks
no
and Dunn
matter
are
what.
two of my heroes, so we always do Brooks and Dunn songs in our sets. We usually open the set with Brand New Man, so yeah, when they asked, they're like, "Hey, we got Brooks and Dunn open if you're interested." I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, if there was ever any reason to come check out the talent and the music and support local music, folks, follow this young man. I can say young man because you're younger than me.
That's all right.
Follow him online, share this episode, help get the reach out there, because that's really, I mean, you talked about in the beginning how Luke Combs kind of got his start.
Yep.
Which, you know, social media plays a huge role in that.
Absolutely.
That's where you can help him out. And then you're going to be doing some documenting of your
road trip, yeah.
Your road trip. Not too much, you know.
Yeah,
enjoy
just
the
enough.
time. Yeah, just
Just
enough.
enough, yeah.
Just enough. I think that your lovely wife will probably want to put a little bit of restriction on that.
Oh.
But you know, to a degree. But no, it's all part of the journey and the process. So, wishing you all the best.
Thanks so
folks.
much.
Go follow him, find him, like his stuff, download his albums, buy his posters to hang on your bedroom wall. You can find them at any Spencer you get for Hot Topic. Be great there. You know, it's. By the way, we gotta take those pictures so we can get that.
Okay,
on the truck there.
Perfect.
Right?
Yes.
Great.
So we're on the tailgate. We'll do it.
Awesome. Go follow him, folks.
Thanks, guys.